Hey guys, it's Edie. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour readathon. I've never done one of these before, so I've never even attempted to read for 24 hours, so I don't think I'm going to read for 24 hours straight. I think I'm going to try and read 12 hours on like the first day and 12 hours on the second day, but I'm going to stop the timer when I'm not reading. That makes sense, just to see how much I can read in the 24-hour time period. So these are the books I am planning on reading. They might change because I'm such a mood reader, but let's just go through them. So I've gone at Falls by Devonny Perry, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. This is I want to say it's the third one in the Eden series. I've read the first two and loved them, and it's like small town romance vibes. Second one is There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. This is the first book in the Cineduets. Cineduet? I think that's, yeah, Cineduet. I might end up reading the second one if I love this. I want to read the second one. Then I've got Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. I think it is part of a series, I'm not really sure, but if it is, I think I've read the first one. And I think these are just like summer sort of romances, so I thought that'd be quite good to read this time of year. And then I have got Josh and Hazel's Guide to Fake Dating by Christina Lauren. I love a good fake dating book, and it says it on the title, so I assume it's going to be fake dating. And I have read The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and it was alright. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, so it's a decent book. So this will be my second book I've read by them, so I'm very excited. Then the last book on the stack, I have The Co-op by Tara Jewett. I haven't read any of her books. I know I think it's called, is it called Funny Feelings or something like that? She's written that one, and that's quite a popular book. But from reading the back, this is like a marriage of convenience, and I'm a sucker for a marriage of convenience, so I'm very excited to that as well. If you couldn't already tell, I chose all romance books because I thought that would be the easiest thing for me to get to read in 24 hours because they're so easy to follow. And I also chose ones that they're all under, I believe they all are under 300 pages, or they're just a tiny bit over, because I was like, I don't really want to pick massive chunky books, because sometimes when I read chunky books I get a bit too, sometimes it's harder to get into them, I find, like, because they're so big and they take me such a long time sometimes. So I thought this is the safest bet to choose. So it's currently 10 past 8. I'm probably going to start this at 8:30, I will. So I'll see you again in like 20 minutes to start this 24-hour readathon. So it's like 1 minute till 8:30, and I've chosen to read The Co-op first. Don't know why I chose it. I just thought, I don't really know what I was thinking. It's still early in the morning, so I just picked this one because I like the sound of do you call the black bit of blurb? I think I like the sound of that, so that's why I chose it. So I had the timer ready. I don't know if you can see that. So let the 24-hour readathon start. So I'm just over an hour into the 24-hour readathon, and I'm on page 58, just about to start chapter 7, and I'm really enjoying it so far. This book, it follows I'm trying to figure out how you pronounce the FMC's name, Larin, I want to say, and it follows Deacon, and both their grandmothers have passed away, and they've been given they now own the place that they lived in, so they now co-own it, and he wants to renovate it, but he doesn't have the money to renovate it, and she has the money to renovate it but can't access it until she's married. So they've just they go into like a marriage of convenience, and I'm like loving the banter between them because it's kind of like a hate situation at the moment. They're not enemies, but they don't particularly like each other. And also they have a bit of history because they always used to go to their grandmother's in like the summer, and they had a fling. I think it was like 7-8 years ago, they say, before this takes place, and yeah, it's very interesting, very good, and I'm quite enjoying it so far. I just want to say I looked back at the clips of this video and the lighting's really off because it's cloudy and grey and miserable outside, so there's no sun, so it's not as good at lighting in here, so I do apologise for that. But I've just got to a section where you already find out before this the nickname that he calls her, and I've just found out how it came about, and it's so cute. And he just said the words, "my wife." Anytime that gets said in a marriage of convenience, I'm obsessed, so let's just carry on. I'm almost 4 hours into a 24-hour readathon, and I think this is probably sitting at a 3.5. It's really cute, I'm really enjoying it. I haven't had anything bad to say about it yet, but I feel like in a week, 2 weeks, I won't particularly remember the characters, and I'm somewhat connected to them, but not as much as I usually would be. So yeah, it is currently as well just got past 12 o'clock, so I'm probably going to go have something to eat, and then I'm going to come back to reading. Just found out about what happened when they had their fling in the summer, and my heart, I'm kind of annoyed because it is kind of a bit of a misunderstanding, but I don't want to say what happened because that might give away. It won't really give away much, but it's part of the story, and I don't like spoiling things for people, but it's like miscommunication. They could have probably talked about it earlier on and figured out what happened between them, but still enjoying the book, so don't let that put you off from reading it. I've just got to the bit where they confess their feelings for each other, and it was sweet. Nothing extraordinary, nothing out of this world or beautiful. It was your average love feeling confession. Well, they haven't said they loved each other, but they do mention they have feelings for each other, and it does get a bit spicy. Not super spicy, but this is the first sort of bit we dabbled into it, and we're already 237 pages in. It's only just gotten, it's the only spicy bit in it. It's not majorly spicy, but it's on the I don't know what I'm saying, but I think you get what I'm saying. And there's only about, I think, 30 to 40 pages left. I'm like, is there going to be a further conflict? I feel like I can sense one coming. I don't know what it is, but there's only 30 pages left, and I'm like, what's going to happen? Whether they're going to have enough time to make up and blah 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 blah. But yeah, approaching 4 hours into this, and I'm almost finished the first book. So considering this is my first time doing a 24-hour readathon, I'm quite pleased, quite happy with how it's going. Yeah, let's just carry on reading. Just they loved each other. I did not expect that quickly. I know they knew each other before, but I was expecting them not to stage if there was a third act conflict with it, which there still might be. I was expecting them to say they love each other after, not right after they've just, I don't know, they haven't officially started dating. They haven't mentioned anything officially, but unofficially dating, and they've already said it very quickly. And I know they had history, but it does seem very quick. But it is only there's not much left, so that last chapter and the epilogue, it was so cute. I think I'm going to give this book a 3.75 because, so I did love it. I didn't really dislike anything about it because no third act breakup. I love it when a book doesn't have that because sometimes they can be so frustrating, but this didn't have a third act breakup, so it wasn't, I didn't find much frustrating, but I feel like it might stick with me for like a week or two, but after I go past that and I read other books, I probably won't think about it as much. But it was still such a cute, easy book to read, and it was quite fast paced as well, which is definitely something you want when you're doing a 24-hour reading challenge. And if you do see out of that, I do highly recommend reading it, especially if you do love like a Marriage of Convenience, Forced Proximity, It's a Second Chance. I can't think of the other tropes in it, but it's just adorable. I'm currently 4 hours and 20 minutes into the reading challenge, and I have finished the first book, and now I'm just going to quickly log the book in my reading journal. Look, I've got some cute little stickers on it, but I'm going to show you what I put in it and how I log everything in it, because I feel like that's always quite interesting. So that's what I'm going to do now. It took me a while to decide what I'm going to read next, but I think I'm going to read Josh and Hazel's Guide to Fake Dating, and I'm quite excited. I have read the back. It does seem very interesting, so let's just get on with it. So I'm on chapter 3 now, and I'm really liking the setup of this book. Basically, Josh and Hazel, they went to the same college, and they met through some very bizarre circumstances at the college. And then fast forward 10 years, they haven't seen each other since college, and they somehow meet each other again, and that's what I've read at the moment, but I'm really enjoying it. I really like Hazel's character. I can see some people might not like her character, but I'm loving it at the moment, and I'm having such a good time reading this. So basically at the beginning of this, Josh has a girlfriend, and like, I'd say, I don't know how many pages in, they break up. I'm not going to say why because I don't want to spoil it. And then I've just finished chapter 7, and Hazel is suggesting they date, but they don't date each other, and they set each other up on their, like, a blind double date. So I'm very intrigued to see where this goes and how their feelings develop. And I'm really enjoying it so far. It's such a fun read, and I love Hazel. She's such, I don't know if the right word to describe is like quirky, but she's not like your typical FMC. She's got like loads of animals, she just really seems really sweet and wholesome, and I love that. Don't mind how red my face looks. I've just taken my makeup off because I was like, I can't be having this on any longer today. And my eyes were getting tired, probably from reading, and I kept rubbing my eyes. My concealer was cutting up under my eyes, so I just took it off. That's a bit of a ramble, but I am 170 pages in to Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. And then I've still got 17 hours, 17 minutes left. My camera just died, and I think I said I was halfway through this. Well, I think it looks like roughly halfway through this book. And it's alright. I'm not enjoying it as much as I first enjoyed it. It's gone a bit downhill since. It's not that I don't like the characters, I think maybe because this is my very first 24-hour readathon, I'm struggling a bit. And I know it's technically not a proper 24-hour readathon because I'm stopping the timer every time I don't read, but I just feel like I couldn't sit there for 24 hours straight and keep my mind focused because my brain is just constantly going and I can't just always sit still for that long. Josh and Hazel have gone on a couple of double blind dates with people, and one of them even said, maybe you should look at each other to go on dates. And I was like, and they might have just done something, and he left a little note the next morning. That's what I'm gonna say. Stop it. I'm gonna say a quote from it. I don't know if it's spoiler. I don't think it's really much of a spoiler, but I'm gonna put a timestamp on the screen if you don't want to listen to this quote. It's just like a really it's from Josh is pointed through. It's like just one chapter, and this is for the whole chapter. It's really short. He said, "My head is a mess. I slide my phone into my nightstand and collapse back onto the bed. Hazel sounds fine today, which is good. I should be glad that she's the same Hazel she was when we woke up yesterday, but I'm not the same Josh." If you have read this book and you know what is hinted at page 250, if this does happen, and this is true, I don't know how I'm going to feel. So I'm going to record my reaction to it if it does happen. I'm now on page 262, so let's carry on. She is, oh my god. No. No. Why did I have a feeling this was going to happen, but why am I so shocked and upset? I don't even want to read anymore. Not that it's because it's good, but because I have a feeling what's going to happen next. It's going to be heartbreaking. Just thinking about it. But I've got to get on. I've got to carry on. Because I'm on now chapter 23. I don't know if you can see that. And how far are we into it? We're 15 hours and 46 minutes into it. And I've got about probably like 20 odd pages left. And what's going to happen, I don't think I'm prepared. OMG. The last, I think it was probably like 30 to 40 pages. Took me through an emotional roller coaster. Like 1 minute I was like in shock. I was almost crying at points, and I don't cry that often at books, but this one pulled at my heartstrings. And the ending, the epilogue, it was a perfect way to end the book for Josh and Hazel, and I'm deciding what to rate this, because it's not a 5-star, but it's 4. It's definitely a 4, but I think it's probably just sitting at a 4. I don't think much higher, but we've still got 15.5 hours of this reading challenge left, so we've still got a while. Still got lots of books to read. I'm going to write my review on Goodreads, post it on there, do my book journal, and then we are going to start the next book, which I don't know, I think I know which one, but I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to choose yet. So I've now changed into my pyjamas as well, because I want to be extra more comfy. It's getting near. I am going to go to bed. Probably not till like at least after midnight, but I just want to get comfy in my pyjamas. And I've got my 101 Dalmatian pyjama top on because that's one of my favourite childhood films. That's a bit of a ramble and it has nothing to do with the book I am about to start reading. I've chosen to read next There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. This one is the first one in the Sinner's Duet. I've read all of her Brutal Birthright series? I think that's what it's called. I've read all of those books and I gave them all for actually 4 stars. I really enjoyed them. And I'm quite excited to dive into this one. And especially because I've been reading just your regular rom-com contemporary romances, I'm excited to switch it up with a bit of dark romance book. I don't really know too much about it. I haven't really read the back. I kind of just want to go into it blind and see what happens. Oh, and also, I think I showed you in the last clip, we've got 15.5 hours left of this readathon, which is still a very long time. I'm going to try and get it down to less than 12 hours for this one, and then it'll be less than 12 hours tomorrow because I've got some things I need to do tomorrow, so hopefully I can still be able to read. I should be able to read tomorrow. No, I'm just rambling. I don't even know what I'm rambling about now. I think I've become a bit delusional. But, yeah. I just want to get it down to at least between 10 to 12 hours left for tomorrow to read. And then I'll be able to do that. So, now let's get on with reading the book. I'm only on I haven't even read anything yet. But I'll go on to the first chapter. I don't know if you could see that. But she has I think she does a song for some of the chapters, well not all through them. That one seems to have them. Oh yeah, because like halfway through there's another song. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to listen to the songs as well. Let me get my headphones on. Sometimes I can read a book and listen to music at the same time with like music with words in, but at the moment it's a no. I love the concept of having like a different chapter for a different section, a different song for each section of a book, but for me at the moment my brain can't concentrate on doing two things at the same time. I think because this is my 3rd book of the day, of the challenge. Maybe that's why, I don't know, but I'm just going to now carry on reading it without music. One thing I do love about Sophie Lark's books, well, the Brutal Birthright series, I don't know about the other ones, but this one also has illustrations in them, and I really just enjoy that because you get to like picture what as well was the author thinking when they're writing, and I really enjoy it. I wish more people done this. So it's the next day now. I did read a bit last night when I was in bed. I didn't really read that much. What chapter am I on? I'm on chapter 12 of There Are No Saints because I decided to start reading it on my Kindle because when you're in bed it's so much easier to read on your Kindle. So that's why I did it on that. And I'm 37% of the way through it. Basically, what this book is about, they're both artists, and the FMC is more of a richer artist, and he dabbles in a bit of, let's just say dabbles in crime, that's what I'm going to say, and then the MMC, no, did I say that wrong way around? The MMC dabbles in crime. The FMC, she's an artist as well, but she's not very well off. She doesn't have much money. She's living, I guess, paycheck to paycheck. She has 3 other jobs as well as trying to create art to sell it to get money, but I'm really quite enjoying it. And I like the characters. And it kind of starts off like a stalker sort of thing. It doesn't last very long. It's already over and I'm on page on chapter 12, but I'm really enjoying it and I'm having a good time. So I've just finished chapter 17. It's only like 2 pages long, chapter 17, but the last bit. OMG, I am having such a good time while reading it. I'm already halfway through and I feel like this is such a quick, fast-paced book and the chapters aren't too long. Some of them are a bit long, others are 2 pages, 1 page, and I'm having such a good time. I've got like 20 pages of the book left, so I want to film my reaction because I feel like it's been building up to something and something's going to happen. I'm very intrigued to see what happens, so I was like, I'm going to record my reaction to it. OMG. I want to pick up the next book straight away because it still follows Cole Mara, and it continues off from where it ends, and how it ended, I don't even know what to say. And I just want to find out what happens, but I'm not. I'm going to stick to my plan of reading the books I've chosen, and then once I finish this, I'm going to read that. I would probably give this like a 4.5. I would. 4.5 out of 5 stars, because I think I'm going to be thinking about it for a while. I think it's not going to become my personality, but I did have such a good time while reading this. And it had so many like twists and turns I didn't see coming, and I'm shocked. Just shocked. So I'm going to write my review on Goodreads. I'm going to log this in my reading journal, and then I'm going to pick up the next book. So it's a bit later on from when I done my last update because I had to go out and do things, but it's currently 12:12 and there is 10 hours and 46 minutes left on the reading challenge. And the next book I'm going to pick up is Garnet Falls by Devony Perry. This is the 3rd book in the Eden series, and I've read the first 2. I loved them so much, and I'm very excited to get into this one. This one is a bit on the chunkier side of the ones I've chosen. This one it's 348, and the other ones have all been around 300 or just under 300, so this might take me a while, but let's get cracking on with it. So I'm just over 50 pages through, and I'll just do a quick summary of what this book's basically about so far. It's a second chance romance, and basically Talia, the whole Eden series follows all the Eden siblings, and Talia Eden. This is about Talia Eden and Foster Madden, and basically Talia lives in the small town which her family founded, which is Quincy, Montana, I want to say. And she is a doctor, or she's a resident doctor or whatever, and Foster is like a big boxer, quite a famous boxer, something along the lines of that, I'm not really sure. And basically when they were I think she went to college or whatever, done her medicine thing in Vegas, and that's how they met and they dated, and then somehow he ended up marrying her best friend. And then this picks it back up when he comes to Quincy to try and explain what happened to win her back, and I don't know how long after, I think it's quite a few years, it might be like 7-8 years after it all went down, he hasn't come back because I don't think he was from Quincy, but he's come to Quincy to try and win Talia back. But that's it so far. I'm very intrigued to see what the reason is for why he ends up marrying her best friend when he was dating her, but that's what it's about so far, and I'm quite enjoying it. So, Foster partly explained what happened and why he ended up marrying Talia's best friend. And that was shocking, but he's saying he doesn't reveal everything and doesn't know anything. And then a bit later on, Aaron apart and his ex-wife, because they got divorced, and Talia's ex-best friend has come to town to explain the rest, and something's just happened. My jaw was on the floor. I did not expect that. And I'm intrigued. I had to stop this and record this in another chapter because I'm just so shocked. I'm intrigued to see where it goes, what's going to happen, how this happened. I just want to know. Foster is the most caring person. Like, you think at the beginning of the circumstances, oh, why did you do that, why did you do that, but man, he is. I'm sorry about the things he does, the people he loves. I don't need to say anything. I don't want to say much because I don't want to spoil it. But if you haven't, you should start reading the Eden series. Wow. So on page 265, and how long have I got there? 6 hours and 38 minutes left. And was Talia's parents, like the head of the Eden household, let's call them, are the sweetest and most welcoming thing. And this like chapter is about all five. I think there's five of the Eden siblings coming together. Well, not all of them. One of them's not there, but he is kind of there. And they're at the family ranch, and it's so funny. I actually love this family so much. I think I've already said this, but if I have, I'm going to say it again. You need to read this series if you love small town, like family vibes. Just, I'm obsessed with the Edens. I'm not going to say what's going on, but I like Winnie, which is one of the from the first book. It's like the chief of police, she just got a call, and Talia from this book got a call from hospital. There's been some accident. I'm hoping it's not involved. I think it is. Let's find out. Rachel, the character Rachel in this. Hate her. But who I thought was involved wasn't involved, so that is good. Just wow, like, I'm obsessed. I think I've said this probably about most books in this, but this was so good. I think it's going to sit at 4.5. I don't think it's quite a 5, because it didn't give me that 5-star feelings, but just wow. Every book that I've read by Devony Perry? That's how I'm going to say it, that's how I think it's pronounced. But every book I've read by Devony Perry, wow. I've just loved them all. And I love them because they all have a underlying, is that the right word? No. They all have, they're romance books, but they have less like mystery sort of element to them as well. It's not full on mystery, it's like a bit of a side plot, but I'm obsessed. And the way it's setting up for the next book, I am so excited. I just want to read it now. I said that with the last book as well, I want to read the next book in the series, but just so good. And I'm going to say it again, I'm going to keep saying this, if you haven't read this series, you should definitely read it. So I'm going to post my review on Goodreads like I do for every book, log it in my reading journal, and we're going to go on to the next book. We have about five and a half hours left, And I think the next one I am going to read it, but listen to it on an audiobook as well, because it's getting to that point where I'm getting, not in a slump, but it's a lot reading this many books in this short amount of time, and I've never done it before. So that's the plan. So the final book I'm going to pick up is Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. This is the second book in the series, I want to say. I've read the first book. I think it's like called Avalon Bay, I want to say, I'm not sure. But I have about 4 hours left on my Spotify listening hours, so I'm gonna listen to it on there. I probably won't be able to listen to the whole thing on there, so I might have to come back and read it physically. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna read along while I do it. I do, because I don't know, because I want to. So I am 54 pages into it, and this is basically about Genevieve comes back to Avalon Bay because her mother has passed away and she's come back for a funeral. Her dad asks her to stay there to look after the side of the business her mum used to look after. She ends up bumping into her ex-boyfriend, and something is hinted that something has happened between Genevieve and one of the police officers. That's what I'm gathering, and I'm really intrigued to see what happens. It's alright so far. I feel like I'm not as focused on this one as well. Maybe because I'm listening to it through audiobook, but because that don't make sense, or because it's the last book in the challenge and it's getting a bit, not tiresome, but because I've read this, my fifth book in 2 days. It's getting a lot, and I've never done this before, so maybe that's why I'm going to carry on listening to it, and if my thoughts, feelings, anything, I'll come back and tell you. So I'm on chapter 13, and chapter 12 you just find out the reason why Genevieve kind of left Avalon Bay and moved to Charleston, because the incident that happened with the police, I don't know what he is in the police department, but he's in some sort of police officer, something like that, and you find out what happens, and my heart broke a bit for her. I'm like, it's so horrible, especially probably when people are in like power like that and you can't do anything about it. I just found that out. It's probably sitting at 3 something at the moment. It's an alright book, but I feel like this is the second chance romance, and I think 2 or 3 of the others were second chance romances, so it's getting a bit samesies at the moment, but it is still very good. So I've just ran out of Spotify hours. I've used all my Spotify hours up, which I'm kind of sad about, because I was quite enjoying listening to an audiobook and not really have to read and concentrate on it. But now I've got to read it. I'm almost halfway through, I'd say. I think I'm about 40% of the way through, about to start chapter 16, because I do really want them to get together, but hearing little snippets about their past, because of when they were at like high school and their younger adult life, they were quite, not too toxic, but they could be classed as not good for each other because they would always get in trouble with each other and just things like that. But maybe now they've matured, they might be better, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. The dog did not just do that. They weren't really together, but they were kind of going on dates, but he's just broken up with her and he's gone back to his house and saw his brother, and his brother asked, "You love her?" And he said, "More than anything in the world." Why just break up with her then? Why? It just frustrates me so much. Like, I understand you have your issues, but work through it. That's so funny. It's not really a spoiler, it's a quote from it. It says, "I told him I was in love with Evan Hartley." And then Evan says, That's so strange. I know that guy. So I finished the last book that I chose, and I still have a tiny bit over an hour left. But I think I'm going to call it quits here because there's nothing I could really read in an hour, and I don't want to start a new book and not be able to finish it in this video. So this book is probably is a 3.5. I did enjoy it, but about just over halfway through I was getting a bit bored. I don't know if it's because of this challenge or what, but I still had a good time. I don't think I really remember much about it once I've put it down. But the end, the third act breakup, it could have been, it didn't need to happen like that. Let's just say it like that. So it's the next morning, and I thought I'd just give a little overview of each of them. I won't go into detail because I've already gone into detail about all the books, but I just thought I'd tell you what rating I gave them, just as a little refresh. So the first book I read was The Co-op by Tara Dewitt, and I gave this 3.75. I remember having a really good time out reading it. I feel like I'm going to say that of all of them because I did. But I don't really remember much else about it. I don't. That's all. The next book I read was Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I have a feeling, like I said when I first picked this book up in this video, I have a feeling I said fake dating instead of not dating, so if I did, apologies. I probably said that a few times during this video, and I'm sorry. Sorry, okay. But I gave this one a 4 stars, and I loved it. I just loved how Hazel's character was just so unapologetically herself. I know people might say crazy or things along that line, but I just loved her for that. And when Josh, he was like, oh, he didn't make her change, didn't say, oh, she's embarrassing, stop doing that to her, the way other people in the story did, but Josh and Hazel, ugh. So the third book I picked up was There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. And can I just appreciate the floppiness of this book for what I like. And also, let me find, not that one, that's a bit, not that one. Let's do one from the beginning. Appreciate that Sophie Lark puts illustrations in her books. I love that. Did I say what I rated this? I rated this a 4.5. This is like a stalkery sort of romance, and it's the first one in a duet and the second one follows the same couple, so I'm really excited to get to it. You probably shouldn't like the MMC couple, but oh my god, some of the things he done had me like giggling and kicking my feet. That's what I'm just gonna say, because I don't want to say much else because I don't want to spoil it, but if you like any other Sophie Lark books, you should definitely pick up this duet. The fourth book I picked up was Garnet Falls by Devoney Perry. I've now got a new obsession with this series because I've read the first 2 in the series, Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill, and I love these books because they all have like an underlying plot of like a mystery, and trying to figure out by reading it. I didn't get it right. I had my theories and ideas, but none of them came to fruition, is that the right word? I don't know, something like that, but yeah. And like Foster is such a gentleman and so caring, and my heart. Also the plot twist that happens, I think it's roughly in the middle, when a new character comes in. Shocked, gobsmacked. I could not quite believe what I was reading, and I had to sit there for a couple of minutes and just process that. And the final book I read for this was Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. I gave this one a 3.5 stars. It was the last book I read in it, and I can't remember anything about it, so I remember one thing. The third act breakup really quite annoyed me, and then the breakup only lasted like 1 chapter. I was like, there's no grovelling, I want a bit of grovelling. Overall, I think it was quite a successful, semi-successful 24-hour readathon, and I had a very good time while doing it, especially since it was my first one. I might not do it again for a while because it's very overwhelming. If you have made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching, because I think this might be quite a long one, I'm not really sure. I have a lot of footage to edit and go through and cut down. Thank you for watching. leave a like and comment, and if you have any other books or videos you want me to put in the comments, subscribe. Did I tell you to do that? I don't know. No. I'll see you next time. Bye!